Right, so here we are inside Sarli's shop. She synthesizes, I guess, like equipment and items, things like that, whereas Nay synthesizes food. But anyways, let's synthesize. We can synthesize, I think, one more new item here, which is the handmade cathode. And it's got an effect on it, so I'm hoping it's something we can actually equip. So let's do that. I get to watch the end. Oh, it's different. Perfect. So I guess every item has a different background on it, maybe? I don't know. So we made a handmade cathode. Let's find out more about it now. Haha. Okay, the do-it-yourself device is complete. Go ahead and take it. Hey wait, are you seriously intending to have us use this cathode? I saw you were putting a lot of work into making it, but it just looks like junk. I made it using odds and ends from around here. It's only natural that it would appear like this. Taking a closer look, it really is made from a bunch of junk. Wow, this part is rusted. Is it really okay to use this? Machine parts are surprisingly well made these days. They won't stop working due to a little rust. It might not appear very impressive, but its performance is higher than those you can buy at shops. Really? Is the performance really that great? It appears you're having a hard time believing me. No, you're saying it, so I believe it. But thanks to its appearance, I can't help but worry about things like short-circuiting, for example. I see. It seems that even if I build things from odds and ends, I need to take appearance into consideration. Well, the fact that it's prioritizing performance over appearance seems just like a mistake you'd make, Sarli. Seems like an okay mistake anyway. Okay. Let's see if the girl talk is gonna happen now. Oh, hello, Sarli. Oh my, welcome. Please help yourselves to any one of these seats. Why, I'd love to. Oh, that's right, I had dinner at this cute little restaurant the other day, and the dessert was to die for. Was it? Cake. A strawberry tart. It had reduced calories, it still tasted phenomenal. I could eat it without worrying. Humanoid forms should not gain any weight, no matter how many calories they intake. But it's natural for girls to worry about that sort of thing. You don't watch your calories, Sarli? It's unnecessary, so I don't worry. My point is, my meals consist of microwavable dinners. I think that's a problem in and of itself. At any rate, perhaps it is due an old habit. Perhaps it is due to an old habit, but I occasionally take a supplement or two. Hey, Sarli, do you remember our last conversation here? Delta, you shouldn't interrupt. If a man begins talking, we couldn't hardly call this girl talk, can we? What? Hey, Sarli, do you have any idea what girl talk even means? When two or more women talk and have a good time, no? Well, I'd say we're pretty far from off on the good time part, to be honest. Really? I'm having a lot of fun. Well, when girls talk, they should both be having fun. I guess you really did have no idea what girl talk was. You see, girl talk usually means gossiping with each other. But we did. Delta, you've been listening, wouldn't you agree? It just looked like idle chatter to me. There's gotta be a better way for girls to, you know, talk. Okay. Sarli, let me give you this book. So we lost the monthly teen jewel. I didn't even know we had that. Wow. Now that's a girl who has something to hide on the cover. Is this what you want to look like, Cass? Of course not. But that's my source of information. Some of the articles are actually entertaining. You should read it. Do I have to read this? Of course you do. We made a deal to talk like girls, so until you can, you need to study. So I recommend you read up until our next get-together. I never should have said I could do girl talk. Yeah, well now it's too late for that, Surly. Sorry. We should buy one of these because we don't have any more. Okay. We still have nothing else to synthesize, but we wanted to see if there's another scene here. And there is! Success! Sarly, did you read the magazine I gave you? That's the first thing you have to say? Hi to you too, and yes, I skimmed it. Skimming it isn't the same as reading it. At least look at the featured articles, will you? There was a featured article? Yes, it's the first one, after you open the cover. Are you sure you even skimmed this? I don't like your accusing tone. I did read it, though it was more of a skim, I admit. As proof, I've made a new recipe using information I've learned from your book. Excellent. So these conversations are definitely worthwhile because you do get some recipes from them eventually, maybe. And they're entertaining in and of themselves. Planning for life. Do teenage girl magazines really have this sort of information in them? Obviously not. It just tells me you didn't read it. True. It didn't have any articles related to daily life. But there were plenty of articles on improving your style of life. About convenient items or how to cook. How is this not improvement? Well, she might not be that far off. That might be true, but that's not the only thing. Those articles help young girls improve their lives in feminine ways, you see? Did you think about that when you made this recipe? Improving the quality of life hardly seems like a gender-based desire. I don't quite follow what you're saying. That was the whole point of me giving you the magazine. Don't you get it? The next time I see you, I expect you to have read it from cover to cover, not just skimming, okay? Delta, what exactly am I supposed to learn from this magazine? You're asking the wrong guy. Or you're asking a guy, which you shouldn't be asking at all. Alright, let's see what we can craft here. Not that. Not that, because we need the survival food, which we can't make without sham flour and yellow supplements. But we can make this amusing old machine. And we can make cool RNA. Power splitter. Dude, we can make both of them. Alright, let's do it. Well, this one's the same as I think the previous one, so maybe it's the type of item that determines the background. Still think it's ridiculous seeing Delta dance like that. The other two girls, whatever, but... That's cold. Delta, what are you doing? I just wanted to check how cold it was. How stupid. You couldn't tell just by looking? You're lucky you didn't get a frostbite. You should think a little before you act. Sorry about that. But isn't this a little too cold? The circuit board is covered in frost. That's how it should be. Without it, the foundation would fry in an instant. It gets that hot? Yes. This Peltier cooler uses an ordinary foundation placed under far more load than it can handle. Naturally, the more load placed on it, the hotter it gets, and at a certain point, the foundation will burn up. To prevent that, I placed a customized Peltier device on here to keep the temperature in the negatives. I'm sure you can make an even better RNA from scratch rather than going through such hassle. Of course. I just wanted to demonstrate that even the ordinary items on the market can perform past their limits. Huh? In other words, you're using common market items, but they perform better than common market items? Exactly. They should protect you better than those before them. In addition, while using this, your entire body becomes cold, so it's convenient for hot places. Oh, that does sound convenient. Now that I think about it, the baths at inns are sometimes way too hot, so this might be good for cooling them. No, this is still a machine. You can't get it wet. Also, if you have this when you go somewhere cold, you might freeze to death. Yeah, that is true. Oh, no more scenes. That's unfortunate. Alright. So now let's make this one. What do we need for that? We need Quantave fabric, which we don't have, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so I think it is just the type of item. We'll get a different background. And the dance moves change as well. Delta, could you playtest this for me? Sure, but what is it? It's a game machine called Pepin Atmark. You could say it's a computer game. A game machine? Alright, just leave the playtesting to me. Hey Delta, don't get too into it. I know. Listen to the explanation. Listen to the explanation for me. Sheesh, I didn't know you could make games, Sarly. It would be more accurate to say that I assembled it rather than made it. While investigating the intricacy or I don't even know what that word is. Interstices? Interstice? I want to say that word is supposed to be intricacies. Is that how you say that word? Intricacies? I don't know. Where is it? Intricacies of space-time. I happened to come across information for this game machine. I simply used that information to recreate this machine. Why would there be information about games in the interstices of space-time? I have no idea. But I can say that this is a game from another world. So how's that game from another world? This is a terrible game. What? I don't get it at all. I've just been mysteriously dying over and over. I can't take more than 3 steps. Oh, that's because you need to input a special command on the second step. They don't even give a hint. Is that something that should be in a game? Maybe it's normal in the other world. This was also noted as the worst selling game console in the world. I feel a little better after hearing that. This isn't even a game. Well, these are things I can equip, I think. Oh, and we got a scene. Interesting. So maybe we need a craft to get more scenes. I don't know. Cass, Delta, perfect timing. What do you want? Why do I have a really bad feeling about this? It's about that magazine you gave me. Don't tell me you still haven't read it. No, I've read it. It was quite entertaining. In fact, so entertaining I've read it several times. What? Really? Wow, you're serious? I'm not sure if it is a result of my reading it too many times, but the book has become quite worn. I gave it to you, so really, you shouldn't worry. I'm just glad you liked it so much. But honestly, I never would have imagined you'd fall in love with it. I'm quite surprised myself. I never thought it would be so entertaining. So what's your favorite article, Sarly? That's a tough one, but I liked Trip Through Ancient Ruins. Very useful. Useful? That's right. As proof, a recipe came to mind as I was reading. Think of it as my thank you for the book. So we got the True Ancient Civilizations. The True Ancient Civilizations? Tell me exactly how that book inspired this recipe. But it did. I was astonished by the lack of accuracy in the article about traveling through ruins. My goodness, they had their D and H waves completely confused. And the dimensional teleporter? Sheesh. So, I remembered I had a list of ideas I never turned into a recipe. Why would that article remind you of a recipe like that? That article was about traveling. I've memorized its contents. One thing I'm proud of is my photographic memory. That's not what I'm talking about. Looks like your plan to hand over a book and call it a day was a massive failure. That was kind of throwing salt in her wound, wasn't it? Alright, what can we craft now? Wait, did she say she has wider items with things for sale? Nah, she just says pep and at. Oh, it's just basically what I've synthesized. Let's buy 2 of those. And we'll buy 2 of those because we don't have any. Alright. So it's basically just like a better, well, first edition, that's Harmo speed. I don't know. Intrinsic, yeah, we can't make that yet. Can we make that? We can make that. Alright, let's make the memory restoration BIOS. We're just gonna be spending our day crafting, it seems like. It's like Delta is reluctantly doing this. Poor guy. Is this a glass tube battery? Seems like it. One side of the tube is sticking out. You shouldn't judge things by their appearances. This is a TX BIOS called Memory Leap. It's pretty heavy. Does that mean it makes Cass weigh like 10 times more when she uses song magic? Delta! Don't get mad, I'm making serious guesses here. Saying that with such a big smile isn't very convincing. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an effect like that. Wait, what do you mean unfortunately? It sounds like an amusing effect. I don't know if I'll build it, but I'll make a memo. Just explain this thing already. It's useful for something, right? Of course. It starts with one memory and makes you remember related memories one after another. What happens when you start remembering all those related memories? It wouldn't matter if they're fun memories or angry memories, they would still excite your feelings. In other words, they would enhance song magic. You can't choose the memories? It's not that powerful. That's too inconvenient. You should improve it so it only makes you remember fun memories. If I did that, it wouldn't be useful for very long. It doesn't matter how fun they are. If you remember so many in such a short time, you'd get bored. I also said that fun memories would bring back other related fun memories as well, didn't I? Losing the ability to discern fun memories is just as bad as losing them. Isn't that a terrible thing? That's true, but... Cass, Sarley's right. I think this is fine as it is. I might just think this because I don't have my memories, but fun memories are really important to have. Losing them would be, how should I put it, a big waste. You're right. It's just as you say. I know that humans are going to be using it, so I said it not to bring back sad memories or traumatic events. I understand there's still some inconveniences to it, but it's still effective. Make good use of it. Okay. Welcome. Is something the matter? Cass, did you just get out of the shower? You smell like soap. Huh? Hey, what the? Don't get so close to me. Whoa, you're right. You actually smell really nice. But hey, how did you take a shower without me noticing? I did not take a shower, for the record. This is a fragrance. Fragrance? When did you start using that? Of course I would. I'm a girl after all. That reminds me. It was in the magazine you gave me too. I recall they can be quite pricey. Price is not an issue if you want to improve yourself. That's the basics for becoming a proper lady. Or, so I'd like to say, but the perfume I'm wearing right now is pretty cheap. The kind of brands you see in the magazine are out of my reach. Well, I can't speak on behalf of how good the perfumes in the magazine smell, but yours is quite nice. Really? I thought perfumes were usually harsher than that, but this is not so bad. Would you like to try some on? No, I'm alright. That was fast, why not? I don't think it'd suit me. But you never tried it on before, right? Yes, well, I don't think you should wear the kind middle-aged women do, but this could be just right for you. See? Listen to Delta. Well, if it's the kind you have that smells like soap, I suppose it'd be okay. Alright, let's get started. This will be perfect for when I focus on my studies and forget to take a shower for days. Please don't use it for that. And we're back to normal. It was looking good for a minute there. It seems like these scenes just never end as long as I keep crafting. Although they are quite entertaining, so I don't mind. Alright, I guess we'll take a break there, and we'll go and see how many more scenes we can get before we exhaust them all. Thanks for watching.